Welcome back to Big Works. I'm your host, Jazzalina, and today's guest is a public figure and a proud servant of God. D. Graham is a man of faith, and he's determined to spread God's message through his Vibe With Me speeches and his hit podcast, Conversations with Whitney and D. Graham. Welcome to the show, D. Graham. So good to have you here. D. Graham is the first guest I've had on my show that I haven't met before. I actually found D. Graham's Instagram page, and it was through my friend Bianca. And when I came across his page, I was just like blown away, like, wow, this guy is so spiritual. I need to meet him. I want him on the show. And I reached out to him, and here we are.
Let's get to work. Let's
all right. Well, let's do it. It's time to get spiritual. So, D. Graham, tell us, when did you find out?
The year was 1999. I was upstate in prison at the initial part of my bid, my sentence, technical term, but the hood term is called bid. And I met a gentleman, and he was telling me that I needed to get right with God. And I didn't really understand that because I was 19. No, I was 20. I was 20 years old. Yes, I was 20. And getting right with God, I didn't really understand. So he gave me a book. And the book was What Must I Do to Be Saved?
Love that. Now, D. Graham just mentioned, he did some time in prison, which I want to kind of get into right now.
Okay.
So you were sentenced to life in prison.
5 years to life in prison.
Wow. And you obviously did not have to spend a lifetime in prison.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about that, as well as like what got you there and how you were able to turn your life around.
Okay. Age of 15, my father passed away. And I was just a misunderstood, angry kid who didn't know how to deal with his emotions as a result of his father passing away. So unfortunately, but fortunately, inevitably I ended up going to the streets. I started selling drugs, I dropped out of school, and I got arrested for selling drugs, crack cocaine, sold coke to an undercover cop, and I got sentenced. I got caught under what they call the Rockefeller drug law, which is the reason why I had a lengthy sentence for a first-time offense. That was my first time being arrested.
And the beauty of it is you didn't have to do life.
Right.
You're here now.
Right.
Looking dapper.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
and it's all because of the blessings of Jesus, right?
Thank you, God. Yes.
Now, why do you choose faith over fear?
Because fear never really did nothing for me. Fear made me into somebody that I didn't like. So for me, it doesn't make sense to allow the moments of fear to consume me. Because when I did do that before, fear put me in the streets, fear put me in prison, fear made me be involved in relationships that wasn't healthy. It kept me connected to people who didn't have the best interest for me.
Right.
So fear just doesn't really do it for me. So faith now, on the other hand,
yes.
It works.
It works. Right? It works. One of the things that D. Graham has going on is he recently just celebrated his 40th episode for his podcast, Conversations with Whitney and D. Graham.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
It's so interesting about our podcast because we started our podcast, and once again, shout out to my sis Whit for our 40th episode. Every Thursday night at 8:30 to 9:30, we have 1 hour of conversations, and the inspiration for the podcast was because of our book that we wrote called Meeting the Authentic You. Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne, inspirational messages to help you meet your authentic self. People was wanting a place to come to have conversations with us about the book. So that inspired the podcast. So here we are, 40 episodes in now as a result of
congratulations.
The book, the podcast, and we got another book coming out too called Don't Drop Out on You.
Ooh, that sounds like a good one, right? So D. Graham has a video, Vibe With Me, top of the morning. And I love it. It's on his Instagram page. It starts off my morning because he is so aggressive, but it's so powerful. Top of the morning with you. And I really want to take a look at it with him, and I also want you guys to see. So let's just check it out real quick.
Top of the morning, y'all. This is your boy D. Graham with our Sundays message. Vibe with me. What is it going to be? You got to make a decision, and you got to make it today. What is it going to be? You want the promised land, or do you want to die in the desert? Shit been real dry for you because you ain't trying to let go of all that shit you need to let go in order for you to get to the promised land. Let me say it to you this way, and I'm sorry, but I gotta say it. You gotta fucking change. You can't keep lying. Can't keep making excuses. Can't keep justifying behaviors. That's why you in the desert. You ain't gonna get to the promised land if you keep doing that bullshit. What is it gonna be? Do you want the promise or do you want to die in the desert? Because you can get to the promise, but you gotta fucking change. That's it, period. You gotta change.
I mean, that video is everything, isn't it? I mean, it makes me feel like I could just go ahead and conquer this world.
Yeah, you can.
But one thing I do want to talk to you is, you happen to use some profanity in your delivery when you're talking about God. Sometimes Christians are offended whenever there's any profanity being used. So what do you say to that?
What do I say to that? I say that there's more people who are online than people who are online for church. There's more people who don't go to church than people who do go to church. And there's an audience, there's a population, there's a demographic of people who have issues with Christians, who have issues with religious people. And this is the language that they speak.
Right.
So just pray for me. Pray that I continue, right, to serve those who, you know, some of you guys are just not assigned to.
Right.
That's not your assignment.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So just keep me in prayer
Right.
as God uses me to draw those that you're not in conversation with, right? You're probably judging, right, or and probably not trying to be concerned about them experiencing the same salvation that you're getting a chance to experience. So I don't want to be the selfish Christian or believer or child of God that wants God for myself. I want to communicate their language. I want to communicate this gospel to them in the language that they understand.
Now it's time for my favorite part of the show, which is to give. So here we have the treasure box.
The goodies for today.
Yes, so you know the deal already with the treasure box. I love for everyone to take a gift. So go ahead and close your eyes, put your hand in the box, and pick a prize. Let's see what he gets.
Let's see what we got. What's going on?
Oh, that actually is one of my favorites. It's a necklace of Jesus.
Hallelujah, holla back.
I think it'll look good for your ensemble
we're gonna put
here.
this together. We definitely gonna do this. I'm gonna add this to the ensemble.
Yes,
Thank you so much. This is awesome.
You're welcome. So listen, before you go, really quickly, do you have a testimony or a confession you want to make?
Oh man, my confession is when I wasn't taking God serious, I made some of the most horrible choices in my life. My testimony is when I started to take God serious, I started to live a life that I never ever imagined living.
I love that. Thank you so much for sharing your
Thank
story,
you so much
Graham.
for
This
having
was
me on
an
the show.
incredible interview. I loved every second of it.
Thank you.
Guys for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. New episode airing next week Sunday. And as always, walk by faith.
Not by sight.
All right. Thank you. See you next time.